Welcome to the podcast. I'm Mae.
I'm Max.
And I'm Ben, and we were had.
Can you believe it?
There are twists and there are turns.
Defleshed is a standard death.
Oh, that's fun.
We were had.
We were.
This podcast brought to you by Bunny Coffee.
Yeah, it is.
Bunny Coffee. Always only 100% single origin coffees, no BS blends.
From Oaxaca. Are you impressed that I knew
Is
how
that
to
how you
pronounce
pronounce
that?
Yeah, that's exactly right.
That's impressive.
The ad read told us exactly how to pronounce it, but thank you.
There was a transliteration
There was.
in the ad read.
We were had listeners get 10% off with the code bunnycoffee.com/WWH10.
Wow, and experience high elevation premium Oaxacan coffee at its best.
Oaxaca.
Oaxacan coffee at its best.
We've got here single origin Sierra Norte, which is just one of the many out there.
Yes. And you know what? Their current featured coffee producer, Enrique Lopez. You know him.
Oh, everybody
I
knows
mean,
him.
He's of Finca Chalin, the farm. You know this one. It's known for its innovative natural processes and its cocaine mill in the back.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So, something to think about.
Something to think about.
Support local business. Support We Were Had. Buy a box of coffee.
Yes, which I have now turned away from the camera. So there you go.
bunnycoffee.com/WWH10. Thank you.
Always look away at the last moment.
You can't.
I can't.
You can't
focus.
commit
Too
to
much
being had.
Too much eye contact with this
It's too much.
fucking camera.
Too much. So today we are talking Christian. You were kind of talking. Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Today we were talking about.
Ben, go ahead. Start the podcast. Go ahead.
Today we were talking about
Oh my God. All right, here we go.
Christian relics.
Okay.
3 in particular. The first one is going to be the Shroud of Turin,
Beautiful.
a mysterious shroud.
That was wiped of Christ's face, right? Or something?
Ooh, that's the second one. This is the one that they wrapped him with after he died.
The second time or the first time? Second time he rose. What am I talking about? That's stupid.
Yes.
Can I ask you, why didn't you do Jewish relics?
I didn't really
We all
find
have
as
cash in our wallet.
Because there's no mystery. It's all true. So I really couldn't find too many, and these 3 were interesting. Also, Shroud of Turin. I'm not going to give away what the last one is, because the last one is very famous.
Okay. Can I ask one thing before we get started? Like, okay, I am not a religious person. I know nothing, but Jesus Christ was an actual human being. And so where is his body? Right?
Heaven.
I don't know.
Right
I
or
don't
wrong?
know.
Was
And
he
I
not a real
think
person?
Jerusalem, I think.
Is there like an actual grave site of Jesus Christ of Nazareth?
A supposed.
No, well,
Damn.
but that was empty because then he rose from the dead and then rose to the heavens.
There's no remains that are confirmed of Jesus Christ. He did die in Jerusalem, or Jerusalem area is where he.
Did he not die on the cross?
We died on the cross, but Jerusalem was his last week. All that stuff is in Jerusalem.
But he came
Yeah.
back.
He really
from
partied.
death. His
Yeah,
body
He
left.
turned up.
Yeah, he turned up after.
So let's start with the Shroud of Turin, because we're going to be talking. All 3 of these things have to do with Jesus. 2 of them have to do with the Passion. Some of the stuff, I mean, it's gory and it's also getting into religion. So I don't want to get too much into that aspect of it. But Shroud of Turin.
Why do you hate Christians, Ben?
I don't hate them all. I'm so fascinated by them that I chose it as the topic.
It is lovely. I went to Catholic middle school, high school, and also my college was a Jesuit university. So I've touched on these topics.
I did. I also went to
You've
a
gotten
Jesuit.
diddled.
Listen, I've been touched.
I also went to a Jesuit university, and when I took the tour, and there are a lot of crucifixes in some of the classrooms, my dad, I mean, he wasn't like, he was just a little like, huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, they really shove. They teach it like history. They teach religion as history.
A
It's
lot
one of
of-
your subjects.
A lot of the teachers at my school were priests, and some of them were like great teachers. Like some of them were really, really good, and they didn't all teach religion. I had I think a political science teacher or something like that. Yeah.
That's great. When they're like 2 + 2 = 4, or also Jesus' blood and blood. It's equal.
So the Shroud of Turin is a centuries-old linen cloth that appears to be a crucified
Oh.
man, believed by many to be that of Jesus Christ.
Whoa. That's cool.
It has become one of the most studied artifacts in human history. The amount of research on the cloth has been mind-boggling, being studied for hundreds of thousands of hours, but the controversy continues. Researchers have been unable to definitively prove the shroud is a forgery or if it is authentic.
Wait, so one more time. What is it?
It is. So we'll get into
Why
what
is there
it's.
a tiny man on it?
So we'll get into what it's supposed to. Oh, tiny man.
Like,
So
what is the skeleton?
The
So-
outline of a person that was wrapped in it?
it is supposed to be
Yeah.
Jesus's body and actually his face, which you can kind of make
It left
out.
like an imprint on it?
Yes, kind of similar to the other object that you were alluding to.
Oh, yeah.
So I'll go through the history of it a little bit, and then we'll talk about sort of whether it's real, whether it's not.
Looks like an X-ray.
So that's
It does.
It's a photograph negative, what you just saw.
Oh, okay.
So I'll get into why that's important. So going back to the beginning, the history of the Shroud of Turin begins in 1353, so long after Jesus died,
Right.
when a French knight named Geoffrey de Charnay brought it to a monastery in Lirey, France. There is no history of the shroud before this time. Around 1389, the Bishop of Troyes sent a message to Pope Clement VII saying that the shroud was a fake and that an artist had confessed to forging it. The Pope declared that the shroud wasn't that of Jesus Christ, but he allowed the church in Lirey to continue to display it as long as it was known as an icon and not a relic.
I mean, what are we doing here? It's 1,300 years after he died, right?
So it's claimed that this is the thing that they wrapped him in. Yeah.
Yeah,
right.
it's like, you just found this thing? I don't know.
It's weird.
I mean, and where did they find it? On a rock somewhere? On an old cactus in the desert?
Actually, I don't really know because 1353. It's not like
Well, and also he brought it to the Pope, right? That's in Rome. So it's like you're schlepping that thing all the way from Jerusalem.
I don't think it's heavy. I think it's
What is this? Middle Ages? Were you in the Middle Ages?
yeah, we're Middle Ages
They
here.
needed something to talk about. Let me tell you that. A
Yeah.
lot of dark spots over there.
Oh,
Middle
boy.
Ages? Boy, Bummer Town, USA.
So it's traveling around. It ends up in Turin, which is in Italy. And I'll jump ahead a few hundred years. You said that it looks like an X-ray. So the research on the shroud began in 1898, so way later, when Secondo Pia, an Italian amateur photographer, discovered that the reverse negative of a photograph he had taken of the shroud revealed a bearded man with wounds on his body. So that stuff that you saw where it looks like a body and a face, that people didn't even know that that was part of the image until they took this photograph negative. So
Oh.
that's creepy.
That is creepy.
So what does the regular shroud look like? Do I have a picture of that?
Yeah, I didn't send it, but you can't make out the stuff that you can with the with the negative.
Oh, interesting. Huh. Look at that. I mean, that is clearly a man.
I mean, yeah, that's a human man.
But it's weird that you can see the details on his face
It's
so
also
well.
weird that he looks like Jesus.
Yeah.
You right? Like he looks like the popular renditions. Is that why chicken and egg kind of thing? Is this Jesus?
I mean, it's supposed
Could
to be
be.
Jesus,
Could
and
be
then
Jesus.
people do a lot of it again without getting into the like nitty gritty of it. People do analysis of like, would this be what the body would look like after crucifixion? And there are a few ways that yes, and a few ways that no. Some of it has to do with like they're going through like how Jesus would have been crucified, like and the body would have looked somewhat like that in terms of how much how it was, hurt.
Now, did they carbon date the fucking the cotton or whatever the hell it was made of?
Yes. So let's start with this. A piece of the shroud was split and tested in laboratories in Switzerland, England, and the United States in 1988. The carbon-14 dating placed the cloth in the time frame between 1260 to 1390. So,
Okay.
no good.
When they found it.
Right.
Yeah.
The scientists concluded that the shroud was a medieval hoax.
Right.
But a 2011 analysis. Oh, by the way, the reason why it's taking so much time is that this thing is like now the Catholic Church's like property. So like it's not like someone can just go in and take a swab of it. Like there's a lot of
The Catholics
mystique
got
here.
their hands on it, huh?
In a more recent study so 2011. An analysis by Italian scientists revealed that the part of the cloth that had been tested might have come from a portion of the shroud that had been repaired by an order of nuns after it had been damaged in a fire during the Middle
Twist.
Ages.
In a fire, damn, that sucks. Imagine, I feel like, oh shit, I just set this place on
Yeah,
fire
right.
and fucking Jesus'
That happened a
cloth
lot
is
back
in
then,
there.
I feel like.
They just lose
Yeah.
stuff in fires.
Yeah, like fires in like libraries and shit. Well, it made sense. They used like a lot of flammable shit and they were writing by candlelight. So
Yeah. Can I ask you, has anybody else throughout history been crucified besides me on Twitter?
it was
But like, you would think that would start a fad and people would
It
start
was a
getting...
fact. It
Oh,
wasn't.
okay.
It wasn't weird that he was crucified. That was
okay, I
a
see.
very
I
common
mean, there
way
were
of
two guys
executing
next
people.
to him.
Oh, there was?
It was one of the Roman hits.
I see.
It was one of the
Okay.
hits. For sure.
All right.
Was it during the lion times? Could he have been tossed to a lion?
There are still lions around.
No, Colosseum. I mean, I'm not.
They're not dinosaurs.
Wait, lions are still out there?
What do you mean during lion times? Like gladiators?
When they had gladiators and shit.
Would have been, right?
Yeah.
That would have been cool. Jesus beats a lion.
Yeah. That would be fun.
It's rock, paper, scissors, but it's Jesus beat lion.
But what beats Jesus?
Nothing.
Paper.
Paper? Ironically, paper. That one stays.
If there was if you could go back in time and be in Roman times and go see a show at the Colosseum, would you go?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you have to.
You have to.
Just
It's
for anthropological
It's
reasons.
cultural.
Yeah, it's culture. It would be insulting to them if we didn't go and fucking chant and crush beers with them.
Right.
That would have been insulting.
I love how PETA would take they would have a problem with the lions and not the
Right,
people getting
right.
murdered.
Well, I agree that if you're gonna go, you gotta commit. You
Well,
can't just
no.
be there with your arms crossed, being
Oh,
like, "This
yeah.
is wrong."
This
It's
is
like,
wrong.
well,
You gotta be like,
it's like then go to the
Yeah.
forum if you don't like it.
Yeah, go fucking talk philosophy over in Greece. Huh?
Yeah. I saw a cockfight once. It was gnarly.
No, that's too much.
It
I
was
don't
crazy,
Actually,
yeah.
I actually don't think I would handle it well, the Colosseum stuff.
No, I would imagine not. You're gonna see somebody get mauled to death.
I definitely wouldn't like
bad.
it if it was two lions. I really don't like the idea of two animals fighting each other.
No, you're like the PETA example
Yeah,
that Mae
yeah,
just gave.
exactly. I would way rather two lions kill each other than a
I don't
lion
want
kill
anybody
a
to kill
person.
each other.
Oh, wouldn't it be cool to see a lion like when they existed? Like just
I don't believe they're real. I'm a lion truther. I don't think they're real.
before the asteroid, I'm saying. So this 2011 thing, the reason why it's interesting, first it says there was the fire. Their research using infrared light and spectroscopy dated the shroud between 280 BC to 220 AD, right in the wheelhouse.
I thought AD is...
So from 280 BC
Oh,
to 220 AD, so year zero is
Wow.
in there.
Yeah,
Wow.
interesting.
That median is right where we want it to
That's
be.
where
I
we
want
want
to
it.
believe that it's real. But where are they producing this from out of nowhere in 1300? That's my problem with it.
Could have been in an old cave or someone's house.
I don't know. No article I read
Shit got
said
passed
exactly
down.
where they found it.
Right. And then
You're
also they
forgetting-
find it in Jerusalem and think about that trek, especially those times where they ride a fucking horse with it
They
all the
didn't
way.
find it in Jerusalem. They found it in, I guess it was in Jerusalem originally.
Yeah,
but
that's
that
what I'm
it took
saying.
1,300 years to get to France. And then from France, they go to Italy. So
But
that's
it
not
was
terrible.
some French monsieur bitch found it, though? That doesn't make sense to me.
Or was hoarding it somewhere and then decided to give it to the Vatican, I guess.
I'd
How
probably
old is
keep
the
it.
Vatican? Wicked fucking old?
Sure.
Yeah.
I believe, yeah, it's wicked. They started in wicked fucking AD. So
There were popes since almost,
Yeah.
at least 1,800
I saw the
years.
Pope do a sermon once.
which pope?
Or what do you call
John
it?
Paul?
A service? I don't know. When I was, I guess, 2013.
That's Benedict, right?
The
that-
Yeah,
Vatican
that sounds-
is 93 years old. 93.
Ah.
Yeah.
But how long
93
have they-
years old?
That's
But
Yeah.
how long have there
So
been
that-
popes?
how long have there been
Who was the
pope?
first pope?
Okay.
That is
300s?
youthful.
200s?
Pope John the Baptist, no? Did I make that up?
I think he's just
Peter.
called John the Baptist.
Peter was considered the first pope, so I guess around
One of the apostles.
33 AD.
So, okay. Yeah.
Wow,
Oh, wow.
they really
Yeah.
started, huh?
Yeah.
Then they called it. So then what's the difference between having a pope and the Vatican?
Well, the Vatican is just the place,
I'm so
Vatican
confused, though, 'cause-
City, and the Vatican is the church, the major church.
But
that they
Michelangelo,
practice.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Michelangelo was in
Sistine
1300.
Chapel.
Or no, the 1600s, something like that, right?
Michelangelo, even earlier, 1400s to
Yeah.
1500s.
So 93 years can't be. Maybe since it's been recognized as a country.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, maybe since
Oh.
it's been the country, that makes
That
sense.
makes
Or maybe they
sense.
just rebranded as Vatican.
Yeah.
It's drop the. We're just Vatican City now.
Vatican City age. That's what it says for that. 1929 is when it was founded. But I mean, obviously
That's
the
gotta be
Vatican
as a
is
government.
longer. Yeah, that's as a government.
Because it is
for
a
sure.
country. I think it
Yeah,
is
it is a
It is.
country, yeah.
You
the
need your
smallest
passport.
country in the
Yeah.
world, right?
They have an army. Don't forget, they got shooters out
Oh
there.
my God, those cute little guys in those weird clothes. You know, they wear those little
Those are called
get-ups.
priests.
Me and Mark went to the Vatican when we were in Rome, and Mark got yelled at for being inappropriate. So,
Who yelled at them?
some guy, I don't know, probably a priest.
I mean, probably the bar to be inappropriate is pretty.
It's pretty low.
Low, right.
Yeah, I think he was I don't know what he was doing. He was just cracking jokes in a silent place and whatever. We got yelled at. It was embarrassing.
You can't
and
go
we're
to-
adults.
You got to crack jokes at the vat. I mean, it's
You
like
have
the most.
to. Yeah, you have to break the tension.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Mhm.
In 2018, a pair of Italian researchers conducted tests using fake and real blood on a simulated shroud. They wanted to determine if bloodstains on the shroud represented what was reported in the Bible. They said that the bloodstains on the shroud were inconsistent with reports from the Bible. Like so many other studies, their findings opened up even more questions about their methodology. I don't really get that process, what they were doing there.
Okay.
I didn't follow.
No, I was tuning
I
out.
chose to stop listening during that.
The shroud is currently housed at the Cathedral of St. John the Baptist. Oh, they usually call him St. John, not Pope. I don't think he was a Pope.
It's my bad.
Oh, okay.
St. John the Baptist in Turin, Italy, and is in an airtight, bulletproof container. Who's
Whoa.
going to shoot at it?
I don't. Do people be crazy? But
But
the Pope
shoot?
Mobile?
People be crazy. People be shooting. I'll say it.
The Pope Mobile was so funny.
Oh, the Pope Mobile fucks, bro.
Remember that?
Pope-mobile's funny.
It is really funny, especially in Arrested Development when he took off in the Pope Mobile. Remember?
When did he take off in the Pope Mobile?
George Sr. was fleeing
Oh.
someplace, and he took off in the fake Pope Mobile when they did like the mural thing. You know what I'm
He's
talking about? Oh my gosh, hilarious. Anyway,
Let's move on.
Back to you, Ben.
Let's move on to object number 2, the Veil of
what happened?
Veronica.
So where did we land? So it's just somewhere where Nicolas Cage has to get it?
All these things are very Da Vinci Cody National Treasure
Yeah.
type thing.
That's my favorite genre of film.
it was a really good book.
Da Vinci Code?
Yeah,
Never read it.
I
it was
never
great.
read it.
It was good. I liked it.
I saw the
Isn't
movie
Tom Hanks in the movie?
It's Hanks. Yeah.
with long, flowy, not
Flowy,
flowy,
yeah.
like, slick back hair.
Receding.
Receding,
Yeah.
slick back. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't care for Hanks.
No, I don't care for
I'll
Hanks.
say it. Hanks does not do it for me. America's Dad. Not mine. Thanks.
I don't want to get diddled
No.
like Chet. I'm just kidding. I'm gonna get sued.
By Chet Hanks?
No, I don't know.
No,
Guy's
no.
crazy.
The
Guy's
guy-
entertaining though.
He's wild.
The
Yeah, he's
guy.
He's wild.
Yeah.
I kind of love it.
He's
It's
one of those
funny
people.
that he is Tom Hanks' son.
It's very
hilarious.
funny. Yeah.
He's one of those people that is so dumb that they never thought that they could be wrong.
I actually think that he might be so dumb that he's smart almost. Like the way that he handled that Ziwi
Like a snake eating its tail.
confrontation. Like, yeah, but it was like one of these things where it's like no one's ever gonna fuck with him anymore because he doesn't like he's not
doesn't
scared
care.
of anybody.
Yeah, he doesn't care. You couldn't like they posted clips from that and it's like the man's Teflon.
I know. It was incredible. It
and
was
he's
inspiring.
saying stupid shit, but it's just like, okay, like I think it's almost like he's got to be doing a bit. It gets so confusing whether he's in on the bit or not,
Right.
that it's actually impossible to attack.
It's amazing. Yeah, I'm inspired
This
by
is
Chet
it.
Hanks. Can I say that?
Let's take out Tom Hanks. Let me tell you something. Chet Hanks could be Forrest Gump. Tom Hanks could never do that Z-Way. I'll tell you that.
Can we? Anyone could have played that role. That was the easiest.
He went full R word. And
No,
I
he
did.
didn't. No, the whole point is that he didn't. That's what that speech is. That he won the Oscar because he didn't go full R word. Sean Penn went full R word.
Oh, full R word.
Sean Penn went full R word, came home empty-handed.
You never go full R word.
Such a funny
Great
movie.
film. I can't believe that happened.
What? That he went full R word?
No, that he wore blackface in that film.
Oh yeah.
Robert Downey Jr., that was like the 1 year in history that could have happened because he's still somehow okay.
Well, it's certainly
I
not
know.
the 1 year in history.
He was the first person ever to, first and last to ever do blackface on film.
It's true. He hit that sweet spot.
For some reason though, like everybody just liked that role so
Yeah,
much that
no-
everyone's like, ah.
No, it's like a sweet spot. What I'm saying is like where people are mad at people in the past for doing it. But you know what? It was such a perfect deconstruction of it that it was
Because
like
it was making fun of it.
It was
Yes,
the point.
But usually people don't understand that nuance.
Right.
right. Yeah. So that's I think the argument against.
It's. I mean, that movie was great,
That's so funny.
and
Perfect.
that performance is incredible.
Oh, he was amazing.
Especially in the end when he stops being that character
Australian.
and just does like 3 different. Oh my god! Yeah, he's crazy.
All right, he's
but
creaming his
great.
jeans. Let's move on to object 2.
The Veil of Veronica. The shroud is not the only relic. Oh, the shroud, referring to Shroud of Turin, believed to reveal the image of Christ. However, a somewhat lesser known but equally well guarded and revered and disputed relic is the Veil of Veronica. According to legend, a pious matron named Veronica took pity on Jesus as he was carrying his cross through the streets of Jerusalem on the way to his crucifixion at Calvary, and stepped forward from the crowd and wiped the blood and sweat from his face with her veil. Again, it's gory.
Is this another negative photo?
No, that's not negative. That's normal.
It's tough to tell anymore.
Out of thanks for her kindness, Jesus worked a miracle and left a painting-like imprint of his face on the veil. The legend contends that the veil has healing powers. So,
Where?
Where's his face?
Looks like
Be
an
specific.
octopus.
yes, it's in there. Maybe there are other. Maybe I didn't give the best image of
Tell
it,
you what,
but
if that's his face, OG blackface. Let me tell you that.
There are paintings of it. I mean, like, there's stuff like this, which is, like, literally his face. But, I mean...
Oh.
Are you showing it to us on the screen?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's not to the
just-
listener/viewer.
I mean, that's insane. That's like a beautiful painting. That's not.
It actually is. Speaking of Forrest Gump, do you guys remember Forrest Gump? There's a scene of it where he wipes his face on with never mind.
Okay.
Wait. I know. And then he hands something to, and like they think
And
it's
then-
Jesus.
No.
Oh.
It's the guy gets the idea for the "Have a Nice Day" T-shirt with the smiley face.
Yeah.
You guys are just having a conversation at this point.
So the idea is basically that during the Passion, when Jesus is being tortured, someone gives him like this cloth and
Right.
it has pity on him. And
My girl Veronica.
Right. And he wipes his face and he performs. The miracle is that his exact face is on.
He
the
signs the thing with his face.
thing. With his face. Yes.
He's like, thanks for being a G. Here's my face.
Yes.
Wow.
Beautiful.
That's
This
nice.
Jesus, man. The guy was a marketing guy. But he's marketing
big
first.
time marketing
The guy knew how to
guy.
create a brand.
Imagine having a cult so successful that it goes on for centuries and centuries and centuries
That's
after.
literally all Jared Leto wants in life.
Yeah.
And
what's
we
up
need to
with
give it
that?
to him.
We
You ever
need to
seen
do an
those
episode on
pictures?
him.
I'm on board.
I'm on
We need to do a
board.
deep dive on what's going on in that island because it's all
Yeah.
young gals dressed in white looking at him, and he's always doing this.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird.
And then
it
if you're
deserves
doing
an
this, if you're
episode.
doing arms out, wearing the beard, and you're like, it's just a social club, it's a cult,
It's a cult.
and I don't want to be in it.
He was great in the WeWork thing.
You know what's
you guys
so funny?
are aware of my opinion, but
It's,
yeah.
He loves that film in the accent, but that came out at the same time as Morbius, which was universally hated.
right.
What is that? What's Morbius?
That was the vampire film that he made. It's like
Oh.
he's like an obscure Spider-Man villain that he got his own movie. And the internet, it was so bad that the internet created a fake campaign to have them put the theater. It was like everybody ironically loved it, so
Yeah.
they created a fake campaign to have them put the Morbius back in theaters, and they did it. The studio actually did it, and then it bombed again. It made like $80,000
Oh my
in 3
God.
days.
Wow.
And then like everybody was like, "I can't believe you believed us. Why did you?" It was so clearly a joke. And now I think they're making a sequel, so we should quit. Hollywood doesn't make any sense.
So people went to it.
No one did.
Oh, no one did,
It-
and they're making a sequel?
I
What?
think it's just like I think they're
It's like a
they're
deep
trying to
cut
Chet Hanks
bit.
their way out of it. They're just staring into the wave.
Yeah, maybe we'll go because they're like, I'm just curious about how bad it is.
Yeah, Morbius 2. It's Morbin time.
All right.
That's what it's going to be.
So, Veil of Veronica. The story is predominantly held in faith by the Roman Catholic Church. So, I think this one's more Catholic. I think a few branches of Protestantism. Anyway, commemorates the event in a Lenten ritual called the Stations of the Cross, and even lists Veronica amongst its saints. Although there seems to be little or no evidence that the event actually took place or that Veronica ever existed. There's no mention of the event in any of the New Testament Gospels. So unlike the Shroud of Turin, where it's kind of in the Bible that someone wrapped a shroud around him, this story is not in the Gospels.
That feels like it would be a big one.
What, getting
Yeah, that
wiped?
someone would have
Yeah.
mentioned it. Yeah.
Right. Some lady offered sympathy. You know what I
At
mean?
least like a
Where
line.
was it? So it was public torture that it was happening, and some broad was just walking up and gave him a
Yeah, I mean,
a
the
napkin?
Passion was like when they put the crown of thorns. The
Right.
whole thing.
I never saw that film.
Well, I mean, Mel Gibson made a 2-hour film just about that.
It was
And
that
a
was a whole
2-hour
2-hour
rant.
runtime. Yeah, let me tell you that.
Yeah.
A lot to say after that.
No, I mean it's a full movie that's just about the Passion.
Have you seen it?
No, it's also very anti-Semitic. I mean, it
Is it?
yeah.
But it was
Right,
the
I
Romans who
guess.
were the bad guys in that story.
not according to Mel Gibson.
That's funny.
That's
No,
fine.
I mean, the Jews killing Jesus is obviously like part of the.
anti-Semitism.
Sure, I mean, Jews were, the bad stuff happened to us well before Christians
Oh.
showed up. But
I was like, what's he about to say?
no, you're slaves in Egypt. Like the whole
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
The whole thing is that.
I've
Right.
been to a Passover Seder.
Yeah,
I know.
yeah.
Won't shut the
But-
fuck up.
If it keeps happening, at the end of the day, is it you? You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
So in
Please continue. I'm sorry.
In 1999, a researcher announced that he had found the Veil of Veronica hidden in a monastery in the Apennine Mountains of Italy. That may come as a surprise to many Catholics who thought the veil was in the hands of the Vatican, where once a year it is brought out from tight security and revealed to the public. So which is the real veil, if either? So basically, every year there is like a ceremony where the Vatican like pulls out this veil and shows it.
And
Otherwise,
just
it's
kinda
like
flap it around like
I
like
guess
a matador
so.
kind of thing. Look, we still have it. Can you believe it? Still looks good.
Do you have a side-by-side of the two that they're saying, like... You said that there's two,
I
and
see what
one
you're
of
saying.
them
Yeah,
is
let's
the real
see.
one,
I'm
allegedly.
actually not
They're-
sure which of the two we showed a second
They're
ago.
doing a
Okay.
prestige-like twist with this thing.
Yeah, it's a double.
Nah.
Oh, we're just looking. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That was a little bit of dead space.
Oh,
We were-
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
History of
faked
the Veil.
out.
Jesus Christ. Ah.
So, Veronica kept the veil and discovered its curative properties. It said that she cured Emperor Tiberius with the veil, then left it in the care of Pope Clement and his successors. Supposedly, it's been in their hands ever since, kept under lock and key in the Basilica of St. Peter. It is listed among the Basilica's many treasured relics.
Who the hell was Veronica that she was in these rooms with all these people? Just
Yeah,
walking
right.
around
Yet
wiping.
she becomes like a big deal or something after the story, maybe.
That's why it's a little tough, because if she wasn't mentioned in history, and yet she cured an emperor
Yeah.
with it, I
Yeah.
feel like people would be talking.
You been to the Sistine Chapel?
No, I've never been to
yeah.
Italy, period. I'd
Oh,
love
yeah.
to go.
Oh, I've
Neither
never
of you
been
guys
either.
are famously gone. Yeah.
Famously, we haven't been.
Yeah, you got to take the little photo, like, secretly, because they don't let you take photos, obviously.
Of the Sistine Chapel?
Yeah, they don't let you take photos. So you have to go in there and hold your phone down here and be like, boop.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Are you going to get arrested for that, or?
Probably get fucking yelled at like me and Mark did.
You guys were just breaking every rule, huh?
We were being disrespectful, I guess.
Well, they can't, like, really arrest you in the
Oh, they got an army.
Vatican.
They have an army. They have an army.
No, they've got to
They'll
be like,
take it down.
hey, stop.
Hey.
Stop that.
Pray on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, pray on that. Yeah,
Pray
think
on
about
that.
what you did.
Yeah.
Professor of Christian art history at the Vatican's Gregorian University, Heinrich Pfeiffer, says that the veil in St. Peter's is only a copy, however. The original, he says, mysteriously disappeared from Rome in 1608, and that the Vatican has been passing off copies as
Oh.
the original to avoid disappointing pilgrims who come to see it at its annual display. It is Pfeiffer who claims to have rediscovered the authentic veil in a Capuchin monastery in the tiny village of Monopello, I'm not sure, Italy. So that's fun. That it's possible that they're just throwing this thing around knowing that it's for 400 years not been the real thing.
Just getting a bath mat at Bed Bath & Beyond.
Yeah, if they're just getting napkins and really kind of messing them up good.
The Pope
Doing-
beforehand just puts his
Yeah.
face in.
Fuck, I forgot.
They just burn the edges of it. They're like, look how old.
Oh, it's crazy how old
Crazy
this
so
thing is.
old. That's funny.
Are we ready to move on to the final one?
Oh, I've been
Sure.
ready.
It's appropriate that it's the final one because it's the Holy Grail.
Oh.
Is the
Wow.
Holy Grail not a real thing?
It might not be, right?
Well, what it
Is it-
refers to usually is the cup that Jesus drank from at the Last Supper.
Oh, okay.
Wine to blood.
Blood to wine. His body and blood. They ate his body and they drank his blood.
So the
But it was
the
actually
blood
bread
and
and
wine. The wine is the blood. Yeah. Okay.
The wine is the blood is the wine.
Wine is another chicken and the egg. There you go.
You never know which one it starts with. It was a real weird situation when you take a step back and you look at it.
Yeah.
It's not uncalled for that people after this were like, you folks cannibals or what?
yeah.
Yeah. Because you're going around being like, we're eating his flesh and blood, baby.
Right. Do you think that they were literally just doing that, just drinking his blood? And
You
they were like,
gotta-
this is great wine.
Here's the thing.
Some
it's like-
Montepulciano or what?
there's no like YouTube or anything back then. You got to figure, if you hear from a couple people that you're supposed to eat flesh and blood,
You're like-
somebody made a mistake. Somebody
Oh,
fucked
yeah.
up and ate somebody because they thought like God wanted that.
There probably was some cannibalism because of that.
Listen, there's only so much fish you can eat.
Yeah, that's true.
Please continue.
Holy Grail, which is very famous and now just comes to mean in general like, a big pursuit.
Right.
Right.
The Holy Grail is traditionally thought to be the cup that Jesus drank from at the Last Supper and that Joseph of Arimathea used to collect Jesus' blood at his crucifixion. From ancient legends to contemporary movies, the Holy Grail has been an object of mystery and fascination for centuries. Scores of people have hunted for this sought-after Christian relic, but what makes the Holy Grail so significant and alluring? But what makes the Holy Grail so significant? I should say my sources for all this. This one is the history.com.
Okay.
That's a good one.
Yes.
That's a good source.
That's legit.
This
One
is
of the
legit.
other ones was Medium, like a Medium article. And
Less legit.
and we're going in descending order with the Veil of Veronica, which was liveabout.com. Who knows?
Okay.
They have the facts.
Remember Weird New Jersey?
Weird New Jersey?
Or like some-
.net.
Yeah, it was like ghostnewjersey.net.
Yeah,
Did
yeah,
a
yeah,
whole
yeah.
episode on that.
That's funny that it was .net.com was taken.
Well, we did one whole episode. What was it? The Krista Helm one, where it was literally just like some guy set up a website explaining exactly what happened.
Yeah, it was like Krista Helm's probably dead. I don't know.
Yeah, who killed KristaHelm.com or something.
Yeah.
So I'll keep it brief with this. You've seen it in, there's the Monty Python movie. Also, Indiana Jones, the third one, they're going after the Holy Grail. Does that sound right?
Was it Connery?
Yes.
Ah,
Last Crusade. Yes.
possible. That sounds right.
The Holy Grail is the subject of numerous myths and legends. The word grail probably comes from the Latin word gradale, which refers to a deep platter that foods were served in at medieval banquets. Throughout the years, the grail has been described as a dish, a chalice, a platter, a goblet, and even a stone. Many literary works have portrayed the Grail as possessing miraculous healing powers. Historians believe that the origins of the Holy Grail can be traced back to pre-Christian Celtic mythology, as well as Christian legend. So the idea of some sort of Grail-like thing, obviously it wouldn't be like exactly that story, predates Christianity, possibly.
Okay. And so do we know what it looks like? Is it somewhere?
The Holy Grail, it's so...
Isn't it something tied with like eternal youth as well? Or is that totally separate? There was a fountain of youth. Is the
maybe
Holy
you're
Grail
thinking
at all related to that? I'm getting my superstitions mixed up.
There's Fountain of Youth. There's Sorcerer's Stone.
There's the sorceress. There's a chamber of secrets. Yes. Yeah. There's the final frontier.
There's Hermione.
Yeah. Hermione punches Malfoy.
I think we're getting somewhere.
The Grail. This is interesting. So, like, what powers does this one have? What's this about?
It shows up in a lot of different places. King Arthur is like a big thing. So
that's what it was.
King Arthur was said to coordinate great spiritual expeditions to search for the enigmatic relic. So that's what the Monty Python movie is about, right? It's King Arthur searching for the Holy Grail.
Oh, okay.
Legends, right? Yeah. Legends hold that the Grail had the power to heal all wounds, deliver eternal youth, and grant everlasting happiness. You are correct. Yeah. Yes.
Ooh, I would like that.
I know when magic is involved. I know the facts.
Magic Max.
Oh.
So it's hidden somewhere?
Okay, so recent discovery, in quotes.
Okay.
In 2014...
I'm going to go looking for it. We had field trip.
Just going for the Holy Grail, yeah.
That'd be fun.
Film that.
Oh, that'd be quite
That's
a
a
TikTok
doc.
series.
Yeah.
The two Spanish historians claim they discovered the Holy Grail in 2014 at a church in Leon in northern Spain. They said the chalice had been there since the 11th century. Scientific dating confirmed that the cup was made between 200 BC and 100 AD. So again,
Okay.
good timing.
That's insane.
That's
Yeah.
insane.
The historians also presented data that included 3 years of research on the whereabouts of the Grail. Despite these convincing facts, there's no way to know for sure that what the pair discovered is actually the true cup that Jesus drank from. Adding to the controversy is the fact that there are roughly 200 alleged Grail cups in various locations around the world. And many scholars question whether the Holy Grail ever existed at all or is merely a legend.
Wow. Well, the problem with all three of these things is you have to be like, number one, is the abject real?
Right.
And number two, is Christianity real?
No.
And the answer to both of these is probably no, right?
Well,
I guess. I don't know.
Well, like, you can believe that. Well, it's tough because you have to believe in both. You have to believe that this man was a witch and also that somebody found the stuff.
No, you don't have to believe that. You could believe that this guy was like telling people he was a witch and that these things were around him.
Yeah, but there's a fucking x-ray of his body on that piece of carpet.
Yeah, but if you're stuffed in a carpet for fucking 1,000 years, you're going to leave an imprint.
Listen, you never seen my dead body, so I'd love to see what imprint I'm leaving.
Listen, I sit on a couch for 2 seconds, I'm leaving a butt cheek imprint. Let me tell you that right now. Especially in this weather. I'm sweating my ass off.
so let me ask you this, guys. I thought this would be a fun little question.
Yes.
What is your Holy Grail in like an abstract?
What a fun game.
Isn't that good?
Oh!
Wow. Like, what are we searching for?
What is what is the goal?
Oh.
Oh.
Too deep for this
That's-
podcast.
wow.
Yeah.
I'm just
Wow.
like, to be happy.
Yeah, I guess that's right. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's pretty
I mean, genuinely, like, to be happy.
to be happy. Happiness
Yeah,
has to be
happiness.
The right.
I think my Holy Grail may actually be the Holy Grail at this point.
Yeah. You just want to be it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
what's your
great.
Holy Grail? The Holy Grail?
I don't know. I didn't have an answer in mind. I
Oh,
just
yeah.
wanted to ask you an impossible question.
Let's actually think of like an object or like something that you would
What's the
want.
Holy
Oh.
Grail of this podcast? How about that?
Oh!
Any sort of success?
Touring. The
Seven.
beacon.
The beacon.
The beacon.
The beacon.
Wow.
That's the Holy
Wow.
Grail.
Yeah.
That's
Think
it.
we do the beacon.
Write that down.
Write that down. Manifest
Jerry,
that.
put it in the comments. The beacon.
The beacon.
I'm writing it down
I
right
like
now,
it.
guys.
There you go. Beacon. One more time.
The Beacon. If we keep saying it, next stop, the Beacon.
The Beacon.
Going back to though to what we were talking about before, the thing is that it's pretty much confirmed that Jesus existed. Not getting into the was he the
Right.
Son of God, all that stuff. And it's also pretty confirmed a few facts about his life. One of which was that Pontius Pilate was I forgot what the name of the leader of the governor of that region, and that he put Jesus to death.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that Jesus was crucified is probably true.
Yeah.
So the idea that there's a shroud and that,
Where
all
the
this-
fuck are his bones? That's my question.
But I don't think we have the bones of most.
Where the fuck are his bones?
We wouldn't have the bones of, like we were saying before, plenty of people got crucified. We don't have the
Yeah.
bones of any of those people.
I
The only
also-
bones that we really have are of like kings and pharaohs.
I
and
don't know,
stuff
man.
Like that.
Have you been to like
His
Paris
bones
where you go to
aren't anywhere. He went to space. He literally died, and then he got out of the fucking. He rolled the rock across. His body was gone. He came floating down. He was like, "What's good, bitches? I told you 3 days." And then he's fucking beamed back up into God's caboose.
Yeah.
That's the science of it.
All right,
But
what do
also,
we got?
like in Paris, in those catacombs, there's like hundreds of thousands of bodies and like all those. fucking
True.
bones
I
and
mean, we
shit.
definitely do have bones of different people, but I don't think you can be like, let's find this random.
They can't
pair
do
of
any sort of
bones.
like. Let me ask you this:
Yeah.
do they have any sort of like genealogy on this guy? Because can they trace back people's like lineages from Jesus? That would be amazing.
It would be
That'd be
cool,
sick.
but
But
he
he
doesn't
doesn't
have
have any
kids.
Oh, he didn't have kids. Never mind.
And Mary wasn't actually his mother,
Oh,
famously.
this seems convenient.
No,
They
Mary
knew
was his
23
mother.
was coming
Joseph
up.
wasn't his father.
Oh yeah, I guess. Well, was it her egg, or did they just pop one in her unsolicited?
Well,
That's
wasn't
a
she
good-
just like randomly pregnant?
Yeah,
like
she was
never
just
had sex?
randomly
It was
pregnant.
IVF.
Yeah.
It was the first
Right,
IVF.
Yeah,
Just woke up one day and was like, "I'm ready to pop."
that's fucking wild.
It's my worst nightmare.
No,
That
thank
was the
you.
original. I'm pregnant and I didn't know. What was that show?
Yeah, I pooped a baby.
Yeah, I pooped a baby.
Yeesh. I thought we
Remember
were
that?
pretty unoffensive for a while, but now saying
Yeah.
that Jesus was
Yeah.
like pooped a baby, I think we broke that.
That is crazy that people don't know they're pregnant and then they just go into labor.
Wild. First
Then-
season of Mad Men.
She pooped a baby?
You never watched the first season of Mad Men?
I did
No,
watch
I
it, but I
didn't.
don't remember that.
She
I
has a
mean,
baby at the very. Oh, it's
Oh.
not. She knew, but like
Oh,
she's
she
not
knew.
like showing really.
Oh,
so
okay.
Who
it's
is it?
it's a reveal at the end of the first
January
season.
Oh,
Jones?
okay.
Elizabeth Moss.
Oh.
Twist.
Yeah,
All right. That it?
that's all. Those are the three I had.
Should we go to church?
Sure.
All right.
Why not?
Praying for 5 stars. From you.
Yeah, truly.
Okay. Our Holy Grail is 700 followers.
Such a low bar. All right. See you next time.
We were had. Bye.